Ladies and gentlemen, I want to begin by asking you one simple question. What are you doing with your time? Think about that for a moment. We live in a world that constantly demands more from us, but the truth is, we have no more time than we had yesterday. Time is a limited resource, and once it's gone forever. There is no getting it back. There is no reset button. There is no second chance. Once you spend it, it's gone. And so I ask you again, what are you doing with your time? You know, a lot of us walk around thinking that time is endless, that we have all the time in the world. We believe that we'll have time tomorrow, next week, or next year. But the reality is, every second you waste is a second you'll never get back. And before you know it, days turn into months, months turn into years, and years turn into a lifetime of missed opportunities. Time waits for no one. And if you're not careful, time will pass you by without you even realizing it. You have dreams, you have goals, you have aspirations, but the longer you sit there waiting for the right moment to begin, the more time you waste. There will never be a perfect time, the perfect moment. The ideal conditions, they don't exist. You have to stop waiting for everything to align and just take action. Because the longer you wait, the more time you lose. And I get it. I know how it is. You've got excuses. You've got reasons, you've got all the justifications in the world for why you can't get started today. Maybe you're waiting for more money, more time, more experience, more confidence. But let me tell you something, you'll never have all the pieces to the puzzle. Life doesn't work like that. You don't need to have everything figured out before you start. You just need to start. You see, what you don't realize is that you're building your future today. Right now. Each and every decision you make, each and every choice you make, every action you take or don't take is shaping the person you're going to become tomorrow. Your future is not some distant dream, it's being built in the present moment. And the time you waste today, you'll never get back. You cannot afford to keep putting it off. Let me tell you something about time. Time doesn't care about your feelings. Time doesn't care about your excuses. Time doesn't care if you're tired or scared or uncertain. Time is indifferent. It's relentless. And it will pass you by whether you're ready or not. So you can either sit there waiting for the right time, or you can grab hold of the time you have right now and make it count. Too many of us waste time on things that don't matter. We waste time on distractions. We waste time on things that don't bring us closer to our goals. We waste time on negativity, on self-doubt, on people who don't have our best interests at heart. We waste time on things that don't move us forward, things that keep us stuck in place. And we tell ourselves that we'll start tomorrow, that we'll do it when the time is right. But let me tell you something, tomorrow is not guaranteed. We all know that life can change in an instant. You never know when your time will be up. You never know when your moment will come. And if you keep putting things off, you could miss your chance. You could wake up one day and realize that the time you had is gone and you didn't do anything with it. Now, I'm not saying you have to be perfect. I'm not saying you have to be flawless. But you have to show up. You have to be present. You have to put in the work, even when it's hard. Even when it feels like you're not making progress. Even when you're not seeing immediate results. Success doesn't come overnight. But success does come to those who keep showing up, who keep putting in the effort, who keep moving forward, even when they don't feel like it. The truth is, there is no perfect moment. There's only now. The only time you have to act is right now. You can't afford to waste another second. If you want to make something of your life, if you want to achieve your dreams, you have to start today. You have to stop waiting. You have to stop putting things off. You have to stop thinking that you can get to it later, because later might never come. And don't tell me you don't have enough time. We all have the same 24 hours in a day. We all have the same amount of time, but what makes the difference is what you do with that time. Some people waste their time watching TV, scrolling through social media, sleeping in late, procrastinating, making excuses. Others take that same 24 hours and invest it in their future. They work hard, they take risks, they make sacrifices. And while it might feel like they're not getting anywhere in the moment, over time, those small steps add up. Over time, they start to see results. The key is consistency. The key is showing up every day, putting in the work no matter what. Success isn't about taking giant leaps, it's about taking consistent steps in the right direction. It's about making the most of the time you have. And that means doing something every single day that moves you closer to your goals. It means eliminating distractions, cutting out the negative influences, and focusing on what truly matters. Because every time you waste, you're taking away from your future. You're trading your potential for comfort and convenience. There's a saying, the time you spend wishing for something is the time you could be working for it, and that's true. Stop wishing for a better life. Stop wishing for success. Stop wishing for things to be easier. Stop wishing for the stars to align. The time you spend wishing is time you're not spending building the life you want. The time you spend wishing is time you're not spending taking action. So what are you going to do about it? What's your plan? Are you going to keep wasting time, or are you going to make a decision today to take action? Are you going to keep making excuses, or are you going to push through the fear, the doubt, the uncertainty, and go after what you want? It's all up to you. You are the one who has to make the choice. No one else can do it for you. The clock is ticking, and you're the only one who can decide how you're going to use it. I know it's not easy. I know it's hard to stay focused, to stay motivated, to keep pushing when things get tough. But you have to remind yourself that this is what you've been working for. This is what you've been dreaming of. Every time you feel like giving up, every time you feel like it's not worth it, remind yourself that the only thing standing between you and your dreams is your willingness to keep going. Your willingness to show up every single day and put in the work. You don't have to do everything all at once. You don't have to have all the answers right now, but you do have to take action. You do have to take that first step. You do have to stop wasting time. Because every second you waste is a second you'll never get back. And you can't afford to lose any more time. So make a commitment to yourself today. Stop wasting time. Stop putting things off. Stop waiting for the right moment. The right moment is now. The time to act is now. The time to change your life is now. Don't wait any longer. The clock is ticking. What are you going to do with it? Ladies and gentlemen, every moment you waste is lost forever. The only time you have to take action and pursue your goals is now, and waiting for the perfect moment or ideal conditions will only lead to missed opportunities. Consistency and proactive action are essential for success. Success is built through consistent effort, even when results aren't immediate. It's not about waiting for things to align perfectly, but about using the time you have today to take small, purposeful steps towards your goals, no matter the obstacles or doubts you face. Time is your most valuable and non-renewable resource. You can lose money, you can lose relationships, you can lose opportunities, and some of those things can be replaced. But time doesn't wait for you. Time doesn't care about your struggles, your dreams, or your plans. Time just moves forward, relentlessly, never stopping, never slowing down. Once it's gone forever. And there's no way to get it back. The time you spend today, the hours you waste, the days you let slip away, those moments are lost. You will never be able to reclaim them. Think about that for a second. We often treat time as though it's an endless resource, something we can always make up for tomorrow or next week. We act as though time is something that can be bargained with or manipulated, that there will always be more time if we just wait long enough. But what if that's not true? What if tomorrow never comes for you? What if this moment is the only one you really have? The truth is, we have a tendency to take time for granted. We spend it on things that don't matter. We spend it on distractions, on things that don't move us forward in life. We waste time on regrets, on bitterness, on things that don't serve us. We wait for the perfect time to take action, thinking there's no rush. But while we wait, time keeps passing us by. I'm sure you've heard people say things like, I'll get started tomorrow, or I'll do it when I'm ready, and we all know someone who talks about their big dreams but never takes the steps to make them a reality. They keep putting things off, thinking they have time. But time is the one thing that we can't afford to waste. In fact, it's not the big dramatic moments that define how you spend your time. It's the small choices, the little decisions you make every day. It's how you choose to use your hours, your minutes, your seconds. Are you going to spend your time scrolling through social media, consuming other people's stories, watching other people's successes? Or are you going to invest that time in writing your own story? Time isn't just something that happens to you. It's something you create. It's something you mold. The more intentional you are about how you spend your time, the more you will accomplish in your life. The problem is we are constantly distracted. We live in a world filled with noise, with endless things calling for our attention. It's easy to get caught up in the chaos and lose sight of what truly matters. It's easy to fall into the trap of procrastination, to tell yourself you'll start tomorrow, next week, or when things settle down. But here's the reality: things will never settle down. Life will never be perfectly calm, and there will always be distractions. You have to take control of your time and use it wisely, regardless of what's happening around you. Every moment you spend on something unimportant, every hour you waste on a task that doesn't move you forward, is a moment that takes you further from your goals. Time doesn't care if you're ready. It doesn't care if you're feeling inspired or motivated. Time moves forward whether you're working towards your dreams or not. You don't get a second chance at today. So the question is, what are you doing with it? One of the hardest things to realize is that the time you waste today won't show up as a missed opportunity until much later. The consequences of lost time are often not immediate. You might waste a day or a week or even a month, and at first it feels like there's no consequence. But over time, those days add up. Those weeks add up. And one day you'll look back and realize that you spent years wasting time, waiting for something that never came. And by then, it may be too late to change the course of your life. You have to stop thinking that you can catch up on lost time. You can't. You can only move forward. Every choice you make today matters. Every decision you make today will shape your future. The people who get ahead in life aren't the ones who have more time, they're the ones who use their time more wisely. They're the ones who understand that every moment counts, and they treat their time as their most precious asset. The rest of the world will tell you to relax, to take it easy, to put things off until tomorrow. But success doesn't happen tomorrow. It happens today.